Here we go. Okay, should be streaming. Oh, man. Oh boy, I should have had my sleep back fully on track for this, but it is fine. Okay. Take a look at some of the scanners here for morning, see how we're looking. I just gotta switch all my scanners over real quick. So it doesn't look like we have anything moving at the moment. Alright, so this is the biggest gapper we have at the moment. TMV. Yeah, it's looking a little cold. It wasn't super hot yesterday either. So this might be just a day where I need to stay tight. Wait a little bit. Oh yeah, let me change my settings here. What was it? Instant mortars. So I have that set right. I'm gonna change this to 100. Now that I have a $5,000 account. This needs to be switched. These three should still all be the same. Trading. Change this to 201. So I shouldn't have more than double size. And yeah, we'll probably just have to be patient. Unfortunately, since it's a little colder, maybe not quite the most interesting time to start streaming, but at least this will make it more of a build-up, so we'll see colder days at the start, and we'll get some hot days in the future. But yeah, let's see if anything comes out at the 7 o'clock mark. Okay, we got a couple that came up. Let's see, say I. It's too cheap, not interested. I don't like trading things around $1. Cents. Not really too interested in this either. All right. Yeah, we're mostly just going to be waiting for now. What a great way to start things off. Let's see, IBIO. What's that look like? Also not that interesting. Yeah, this is going to be just a slower start. There's not a lot moving. Nothing really to trade. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, there's not a lot going on. This is the biggest gap, or only 70%. Everything else is 30% or lower. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait, see if anything comes up on news, because, yeah. Really sucks that this is like when I start, because if I had started streaming like a week or two ago, it was so much hotter. BOF. Hmm. Yeah, I didn't see this one because my scanners, I have a continuation scanner. Because this volume might pick it up soon, because I'm using a 5-minute average for that. So since this 5-minute average isn't higher than the last few minutes, it's not getting picked up for me. If this volume went up to like 1.4, it would get picked up. But yeah, I mean, part of the reason I have it filtered like that is so that I don't see something that isn't having strength. So this one is not really seeing the strength. If we saw this breakthrough, it probably would come up for me. I mean, this is worth watching, though. I'll definitely put it on a watch list on the side. I got a bunch of side charts here. I need to, what I need to do, I can do that. I can do this now, actually, just because I've got nothing else really to do at the moment. Yeah, no, that's going to be... I'd have to mess with the whole OBS thing. I'll do that off stream. But I'll go ahead and make like a side one where I can just show my charts and scanners on the side. Because I have on my second monitor where I'm looking to the side here, I have 5 watch list charts and 2 scanners and 2 watch lists that I have pulled up. This one, the one I'm showing, is just for like execution. Yeah, I might need to move like the chat thing too, because like I have the chat on the far right monitor on the far right of that. So I didn't really see your comment right away there. So I might need to move the chat just so it's easier to like see. I don't know if I can do that on YouTube. Let's see. All right, do like a pop-out chat. There we go. That way you're a little closer to my field of view. I mean, nice breakout. 240 to 280. Yeah, now BOF's on my scanner. Yeah. Well, the smaller one anyway, not the momentum one. Mm-hmm. Very nice resolution. Very clean. I'm kind of in a state where I'm much more conservative in this kind of market. I probably wouldn't have jumped on that, even though it was a clean 1-minute setup. just because I don't like trading aggressive. Because to me that's aggressive. Trading on like that whenever there's very little momentum. This breakout at the time when it got to the halfway point, it was on normal volume. It's a really strong move though, 240 to 3. Very strong. This one's definitely on watch now for me. Yep, now BOF's on both my scanners because we got the volume increase. See, this is just an earnings. Just an earnings thing. I mean, the headline's good. At least on the daily, we're right at highs. I mean, this could turn into something that, like, the setups are kind of there. Average shares outstanding is around 10 million, so it's not too expensive as far as outstanding shares go. Price is reasonable. We're seeing a bit of a pullback. You expected it at 7. Yeah, I mean, interesting how the first minute right at 7 it didn't resolve. The volume was like, it was pretty much just normal. Normally you get that spike right at 7, you know? So for it to wait a minute, it's kind of weird. That is true. Although, to be fair, this is a little different, right? This is a earnings call. So they tend to act a little different, so that might have been part of it. But you are right, that is a little weird. I wouldn't want to get in here. I would want to see at least one pullback. I do love that the volume is increased on this candle. Like, right, this is the two biggest green candles are the two biggest volumes. That does look good. I still would want to see a pullback, but it's holding around 3. There's definitely a seller at 3. And I'm a little concerned because 3 is the high. We're around the high of the candle, just over 3. If we see a pullback on lower volume, I think that would be something I'd be interested in. Getting in here just feels a little too aggressive for me. In a hot market, I think I would consider getting in. I just go here. You've got the volume. The 10 million shares is a little bit high. Maybe that's why it's not going immediately. Because the volume is like significant, right? A million shares, million shares. Like this is high volume for this stock. I'm kind of surprised it's not moving faster. I feel like it should have been. I mean, this move was quick, right? But I was on the 5-minute. What was I saying? Yeah, it took like 4 minutes for this thing to actually pop and start moving. The first 3-4 minutes, it just didn't really resolve. Yeah, that is kind of weird. It's just the stock moving. There's like nothing else moving. This just felt like such an aggressive entry. In a cold market, I don't know if I'd trust that. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, no, it's so cold today. Like, yeah, I could, do I have the, I think I'm showing the screen, right? Let me see. Yeah, you should be able to see this. So, yeah, like, just as far as the general watch list goes, like, the biggest gapper is like up 70%, followed by this. It's a pretty slow morning. Yeah. I didn't like taking this early setup because this is a pretty tight breakout. And since it's so cold and this is the only stock moving, I mean, the news on it's fine. Float's a little high. It's not quite ideal for a big move. But the volume is there, right? We're getting like a million of volume a minute on some of these. The volume is there. I just don't. If it was a hot market, I would have probably considered getting in aggressively. It's just, I don't know. I'm not really one to trade that aggressively whenever there's not much momentum in the market. Like I was saying, if this thing pulls back, this is already kind of like a head and shoulders forming. So I'm actually a little bit less inclined to get in here. And on these last 3 candles, the volume's been exceptionally high. Yeah, it doesn't feel safe to me. Now, if we see a significant breakdown to like 280, 270, right? Get to this area here on light volume, then I would consider a dip trade. But it's got to be on light volume. Yeah. Just got to stay patient. Yeah, as far as this thing going up, I'm like 50-50 on it. This move was strong. The volume's high. The float's a little high, though. And this price action looks like a head and shoulders, and it's kind of spooking me. Yeah, I don't really trust this right now. I give it like a 50-50 if it's going up or down. And so this first breakout didn't really hold up. See, like if this was on lower volume, I would actually consider getting in here, right? But the fact that these candles have been all on higher volume, this one was like kind of low, but the other ones have all been on higher volume. That scares me. That's a red flag to me. Right, and these are higher relative to this too, right? I mean, it could do another leg because these candles are still lower than these three, but it's not a great signal to me. I'm curious. So like this first 1 minute new high failed. I'm curious what the next new 1 minute high is gonna do, because that's really gonna show if this thing's dead or not. Right, because we might get another test of the 1 minute high here. Right, see it push up to 3, and then is it gonna hold at 3 or not? I mean, I don't know. I'm mixed on it. So this was the real 1 minute high test. See how this holds. This actually looks a little bit bullish. Just how it broke down here on low volume. This could be a bear trap. Yeah, this volume was very light on the push down. Looks like it was a trap for bears. This might act, I'm still like neutral on it, but that breakdown was very weak. That looked like a trap for bears. Yeah, it was like a 10 cent, 12 cent bounce from that breakdown. Yeah, now I'm like looking to see how this holds if we have another 1 minute high. This volume, I don't like this volume profile. The only good thing I've seen about this pullback so far was that breakdown looked weak. That's the only bullish thing I've seen so far. I mean, that could be it. Like if we see a sudden surge of volume start coming through, this could have all just been profit taking. But I just don't trust it here. We've got a little bit of a head and shoulder. Very, very light volume right now. The thread of the breakdown was on low volume. Seems like it keeps bouncing at the 280s, the 286 level, 289 level. So it's being held up there. If that breaks, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this go to like straight to 280. Still light volume. This doesn't look terrible. Volume's increasing though. If we see this get to like 274, that'd be the first level to look for a bounce. Yeah, this thing's just been like fading off. If this keeps breaking down, I might get in. I wish this volume was a little lower though. Yeah, these two candles being higher volume is that's a bit of a red flag. Maybe the lower end of the range, 265, 266, that might be a better entry. Just want to look at this real quick. G-sit. This one is at the high from yesterday. And it's actually just above it. $500,000 shares. What a crazy move at market open yesterday. So this is more of just a technical breakout. There was pretty significant volume. If we see a pullback to around 18 or 1750, the volume is okay. I could consider a starter. BOF looks like it's kind of leveling out. Let's go to 1884. If I do trade this, I'm going to be taking half size on it. thing's too high priced and it's moving like 80 cents a minute. Jump back through EOF. Just want to look at this one a little more. I mean, there was a bit of a bounce here, what, 275? It went to 286, like a 10 cent, 11 cent bounce. Timing that would be pretty hard. Yeah, this really, if I was going to get in on this breakdown, I needed the volume to be lighter. These two candles being higher volume, that made it too dangerous. Made it too dangerous to get in because this thing could have done a pretty big sweep. Right, I'm just comparing it to this move with this volume. This could have ended up sizing up and the volume could have kept scaling up. I didn't like that trend. This volume feels a little high, but this isn't terrible. This thing just went straight up for like 15-20 minutes. Just green candles every minute. This 17. 17 looks like a much safer entry. I mean, it did make an 80-cent drop here. 17... I'd be more interested in 17s. Maybe like 1710, 1720. Because you got like a bit of a top here too. Super safe would be like 1680s, 1690s. But I don't think it's going to go that low. Yeah, this is a pretty clean false break into a breakout. Volume's still a little bit lower than I would have thought. $18.80, $18.50. What was this move from? 1784, 1880 basically. So it's almost a dollar move. Probably was like around a dollar move. Yeah, this thing moves a lot. This looks kind of bullish. Like the volume on this coming down was a bit lower. Take a starter there, see if it's going to bounce or not. There's a seller right under 18. Okay, let's see if we get a bounce up to 1830s. I tried to get out there at 1827. The bid moved down to 1824. Small $7 winner. This breakdown was on too low a volume. That was the reason for getting in. But it was struggling at 1830. I didn't like that. I forgot to pull up this and get this set up. I'm just going to use this as, should I use the date or the day number? I'll probably still use the date. I'll just category this differently. Okay, set. Okay, we got a stock on the Momo scanner, so I'm going to check that out in a second here. Okay, so what do we got here? All right, no news. Man, trading something on no news like this when it looks like this. I'll keep it on watch, see if the volume gets a little more solid. We got another stock too I'm going to check out. Another half-hour mover. EST. Okay, this... okay, price is okay. We do have news. Not... What the heck is this volume? I don't like that volume. There's like nothing. I mean, I'll add this to watch too, but it... I'm not sure how much I like that at all. Volume is really making me not want to touch this. Yeah, I mean, this broke out, but I don't... On 5,000 volume. Curious to see how it'll play out. Trust this a lot more than the other one. At least this one has news. LITM. I don't see it on the screen. I'll check it out. Let's see. No news. Yeah, I didn't see this one on. Good call, though. I mean, this one's definitely moving, but the no news thing's a bit of a worry for me. Again, like, no news moves like this in a cold market. The volume isn't crazy high. Sets off a lot of red flags for me. Yeah, there wasn't enough volume that came in for me to see this one. Yeah. Yeah, 510 to 47. Yeah, a lot of these need volume. Like, SDST is even worse than this one, actually. Right? Like, this one, like, we're seeing like 10,000 share movers on these, and these are pretty volatile moves. GSIT's just been range bound. I really thought this would have like either broken down or just moved. The fact that I got in here and then I kept hesitating at like 1830, that kind of spooked me out, because since this thing can move so much, even though I took a fourth size, this thing could have went down like $1 and I could have lost like 25 if I was like trying to hold and hope. breakout has a spike, maybe a good scalp. Yeah, it feels like more low quality though, right? Like even with this one, anytime I'm kind of in a state right now because the market's so cold and we're not seeing any good resolving moves, to where when I get in, I'm getting in on small size, and if it doesn't move, I just want out. It's BOF. What is BOF doing? I haven't watched it. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I mean, okay. SDST. Yeah, it's moved. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. Volume did come into that one just now. So, well, it's still not a crazy bit, though. Yeah, this one, the volume is just too low. I want to see like 100,000 or something. The flow, I mean, Lightspeed's saying 2 million. Thinkorswim is saying 8.5 million. So assume like 4 million float, just to average it. Float's not that high, but this volume's way too low. What's BOF doing? So we had like a spike again. So like this is the third one. 5 minutes been actually really good for this stock, right? Each 5-minute high has been a breakout. But it's taking so long to do these moves. This was a right. This one, you had this breakout, and it was just, you had to take such high risks from buying so high, and then the breakout just didn't hold here. Like, it makes me, like, I see this barely making a new high, then failing, and it makes me think, okay, this feels too risky to buy here. I don't trust it here. I mean, relative to this candle, these are pretty conservative, right? But yeah, and I mean, I guess maybe that's just a feature of a cold market, right? You just have, like, you have the SDSTs where you have this really crazy price action with low volume. I mean, it had news, but... And BOF. I'm actually surprised that BOF hasn't been cleaner, given how high the volume was at 7 o'clock, right? You're having like a 1 minute candle that has 1 million volume, and BOF, what was it, like 10 million outstanding? 8 million? I think Thinkorswim is 11, so about 10 million shares. I feel like this should have resolved a little cleaner. I'm surprised it's been taking so long to make these moves. Even looking at the daily, actually, like, what the heck is this daily price action? Right? We're just like range bound. It's very strange. Battery, stocks, energy. Yeah, I noticed those two had energy. I didn't really mention it because it was only two. They weren't really great movers. Yeah, SDST dying horrifically. Yeah, like I just don't trust trading something like this. This is, the volume's just not there. Jeez, how are we looking on this? We're kind of like, we're just like, what is this? Like, you do this massive move up and then you just consolidate for 20 minutes. Whenever I saw this large breakdown on low volume and I got in, I'm like, okay, this should resolve immediately, right? And then it hesitates at 8:30, 18:30. And I'm like, okay, either it's probably going to break out here or flush, so let me just take the profit, get out. And then I wouldn't expect it to still be at around 18:30, 20 minutes later. I would call this bullish. The volume's been significantly lower than this breakout during all of this pullback. I wish it would come... If it came down to like 305 and it was on this volume, I think I'd be a buyer. But... I mean, this doesn't... Switch back to normal size. Ideally, another thing I could do is just have 4 separate keybinds so that I don't have to keep changing size like this. GSIT did break out. I'm going to watch this a little bit though, see if this breaks below 2. If we get like a 296 on low volume, I'll take that. Right, false breakdown below the dollar. I'll actually go ahead and just put a buy order in. We see a sudden pop down. Catch me real quick. Still just watching GSIT on the side chart. GSIT's breaking out if anyone is interested in that. Okay, I'm actually going to drop this down a little more. We've consolidated slightly. Yeah, low 290s, high 280s is somewhat support here. The issue I have is these volume candles are similar to the sell-off from earlier's volume candles. This anomaly, this just random spike is kind of what's making me bullish here. But it, like, why is it just does this massive spike and then it doesn't hold at all? Like, that's... LITM is holding up. That one had no news, right? I think that was the no news. IFBD is also breaking out if anyone's interested. I think that one was, maybe that was the no news. IFBD. Yeah, this one was a no news one. I don't really trust this one either. Volume is just so low on these moves. Even on this like breakout, like you're having gaps in the candles just because the volume's so light. Cancel this. Didn't do what I wanted to for BOF. Just a really slow day for me. Just gotta be patient. If I don't take many trades, it is what it is. Can't force it. Velo. Like, there's no volume on this, though. Maybe that's just the theme today. No volume. Just no one really trading much. This one's still just kind of hanging at the lows. This, even the price action on this is kind of weird. You just see this 20-minute run followed by like a 15-20 minute consolidation. The volume is a lot higher on these candles though, right? We haven't, it's holding up, I think, slightly better than it held up here. Beyond Meat is moving. This one's, nah. I think this has a high float, right? Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. Nope. Go ahead and switch back. IFBD is breaking out. I'm not interested in it. No news, or no, this one wasn't. I keep getting this one confused with the other. Was this the no news one? Yeah, this was the no news one. Yeah, I don't want to be involved with this one. I'd rather just watch G sit for now, I think. BOF is just holding around 3. Weird random spikes for like 1,000,000 volume. Okay, this is an interesting breakdown. This volume candle was a little high, but not crazy. This candle was low. Lower. Size back down and watch this. Oh, I think I had just seen a... Yeah, or no, let's be... Saw that and thought that there was a massive seller. SDST did break down. Not crazy volume. If we saw like 490s on low volume, I'd be interested in that. I'd only want to see a crazy overreaction though. It can happen on low volume. LITM. 40,000 is better. Yeah, this could be something. Yeah, major surge of volume right around here. IFBD ended up selling off most of the move. Not surprised. There's too much chop here for me to look to get in, but this is definitely now more in play. Right, it has the volume. I'm actually more interested in it now. There was a big seller around 550, 560 though. Ended up going to 520s. so tempting to get in there. The volume was so low when that breakdown happened. We've got a bit of a spread. I'm like kicking myself for not punching it here. I had my finger on the buy button. The hotkey buy button. I was just really wanting to see it get down to 5. G-sit looks like it might be failing. This is a pretty big volume flush. Not really a fan of that. I mean, where would I even buy for a bounce? I mean, it's like 1720, 1710. It's got a ways to go. I mean, it's getting there, though. Yeah, maybe I should, like... Because when I have to, like, change size because of this, stocks like this, it's, frustrating. LITM seems to be holding up, too. That bounce at around 510 looks like it worked out for anyone who took it. Yeah, what a clean breakdown on low volume into a reversal. This would have been a great winner. I would have taken half size though. Still watching G-sit on the side. If it goes down to around 720s, I'm interested. $17.30s maybe. Yeah. Okay, so we did have a bit of a high here at around 550 again. There might just be a hidden seller or a big seller at 550, 560, because there was a big seller here on this first pop and it didn't hold here. So there could just be a seller at 550. Breakdown looks a little bit safe from the lower volume. But I'd want to see a pretty big one, like a all the way to 5, maybe even 490. Just because this thing has shown it can move so quickly. I can throw one out there just to see if it happens at 494. I doubt it would do it. That'd be a good entry if it does do it. This isn't a terrible spot to buy. This pullback, the volume isn't terrible. My big concern is just I feel like there's a hidden seller or a big seller at 550, 560, and they could bail here. That's really what's keeping me from wanting to get in this. This candle was on very high red volume. Biggest candle. Second biggest is here. Looks like the seller was passively selling because they just had the order there. Okay, we're at 8 o'clock, so we'll see if anything new comes up. Yeah. Well, like I said, I had an order for LITM at 494. That's a pretty conservative safe entry. Given how low the volume is, I'm a little bit iffy. Okay, we got nerve. Let me go ahead and cancel this order. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. Strong. And this only has 7 million shares, so this is feels like a bit of an overreaction, actually. 100% move on that low volume. Phase 3 trial. I'm surprised it's moved this much this quick. BOF dying. So strong. I didn't think it would do it. Oh, we got juice also breaking down here. Volume's higher though. Crazy move by Nerve. 1 million. Just gotta be so careful about buying the top on this though. It's up 134% just on financing news. Yeah, no, Nerve is a massive shift in expectations. It's been cold all market till this. Unfortunately, I was too timid to get in on this move. I wasn't expecting this. That's crazy if this thing's gonna resolve. I just don't believe it. I feel like it's way too high up. I'm gonna be really impressed if we see another leg up to like 8. The sad thing is, it's like it doesn't look impossible. This volume's high. LITM is looking interesting to me. And ended up bouncing. Okay. Yeah, no, that's an insane move. Like I said, over 100%. And we're seeing 1 minute candles have around 500,000 to 1 million volume. On a 7 million share float, that's very impressive, especially how cold the market's been. This thing is like actually like it's somewhat holding up too. So tempting for me to get in this. I just don't like that it's holding so high. Hmm. It's holding around 6, but I'm just like terrified to get in because if 6 fails, this thing's going like straight to 1550. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Christian. Like, I was not expecting this at all. I was watching for a better, cleaner 1 minute pullback, and this thing just ended up ripping. And here I am, like, half FOMO'd into it. Like, I didn't touch it yet, but, like, all these, like, 1 minute highs, it's just so tempting to get in. It's strong that it's holding up. It is, right? But I'm, like, torn because it's a cold market right now, and this is the only stock we've seen move with high volume. How can you consolidate in this tiny range with this high of volume? I feel like there's a chance this thing makes a big move up to 8. I would not have, after seeing this, I would not have expected this price action. $601. Wow, good luck. Yeah, 1,000,000 shares. I kept wanting to buy into this, but you can see, like, it kept making the highs and then failing over and over. I was waiting for something clean, and it just... Good stuff for getting in at 6. Yeah. The fact that it held so high up is bullish. I didn't think it would hold. Now it looks like it's holding 7, like you said. It did break below it initially, but... These are incredibly high candle volume. Okay. I'm gonna try for this. Taking half off. I would let the other half run a little bit. Hmm. Not sure what to make of it. I was so bullish because these candles held with very high volume. I added in expecting a big break and squeeze, but when it didn't happen immediately, I sold half. I'm getting worried. I'm out. 97-cent loss. It was up like $10 or $15 if I would have sold at the high. I guess I'm getting nerves. Whatever. Close enough. It looks strong, right? This volume and it holding this high. It's the same thing here, but even more bullish. Low was 86. I really thought, once we were holding here with such high volume, I really thought this was going to squeeze like straight to 8. Yeah, it's been holding surprisingly well. That was one of the things that made me willing to get so aggressive on that. Just didn't work. If we see a breakdown to like 630s, it was holding there pretty well before as resistance. All right, this volume relative to this is lower, so Hoth. Ooh, you're right. Hoth is moving. Dang, how do you find these things like immediately? Like I would need another 2 minutes for it to... Yeah, it just now showed up on the scanner for me. FDA. I'm gonna keep Nerve on watch just to see what it does. This is also much higher volume. So this is the second stock I've seen that's had higher volume. Not as much as Nerve, though. Just Thinkorswim scan. I mean, maybe I just have it configured wrong then, because I'm using Thinkorswim scanners too. How often are you very confident with your trades? Today, not very. Mainly just because we've been in a cold market, right? So I've been a lot more careful with the trades, right? I'm only up $6. I've taken 2 trades in like an hour and 25 minutes. I've been very careful. I did take an aggressive trade on Nerve, but I felt conviction with it. It looked incredibly strong. It just didn't end up working out. I was up like 15, $20 at some point. Add you on Discord. Yeah, I'll add you after this. I'll do it right now, though. Yeah, I didn't trust that was going to bounce. I saw this volume was so high when it came down. I thought this was just going to completely reject. Okay. Yeah, Hoth and Nerve are the 2 stocks that are really moving right now. I don't see anything else on the scanners. Good volume on this push, though. I'm a little bit iffy on this setup. This candle's very strong. It has news, so it's not terrible, and the volume's decent. Like, the relative volume. It's definitely not terrible. Nerve is still holding up, too, which is very interesting. Hoth is a bit cheaper than I would have liked. I don't usually like trading stocks under 2. I'll trade under 2, but this is like on the cheaper end of what I would like. So we had a false breakout here, possibly. Still low volume though, so this could be a bear trap. I was half tempted to actually get in right there. Yeah, nerve's been holding up this whole time. I've been watching it on the side. It hasn't really broke below 650. Yeah, I've been watching it. You could be seeing a 5-minute high. The volume has been a lot light. I mean, it's still about the same as the lowest on the first leg. Yeah, for an attempt at a bounce. Just half size. I'll check out T-Non when I'm done with this. It's going down, but it's on light volume. Let's see. Surprised it made this move on this volume. I would have expected more. The fact it was able to go below 50, though, is also not what I expected. Keeps testing that 670 level. I'm just gonna cut it. Now watch it go immediately after I cut it. Of well, I mean, it's only a few cents above right now. Oh, screw you. Okay. That's a little triggering, seeing it go immediately within 30 seconds of me selling. Oh, that's kind of triggering. Okay. That's so frustrating. I did get a little early in that. I didn't think it was going to go as low as it did. I held because the volume didn't seem to match the selling pressure. That's why I was getting in there. Oh, that's so frustrating. It goes 30 seconds after I sell, and I held it for like... How long did I hold that for? I held it for 4 minutes, and then 30 seconds after I sold it runs. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. So let's see T-Non. I didn't look at this yet. Oh, this was that one that made that massive move like a couple months ago. I remember this one. It went like up to 100 or something crazy. You can't really tell here because of the reverse split, but it was much, much higher. Or maybe it was this. No, I think it was this. Yeah, it was this one. But it went up like several hundred, I think. What is this? Like, this was a biotech, but like how many? Not a lot of shares. Hoth died. Wow. Hoth got rugged. Look at that. Jeez. Yeah, Hoth died. Okay. I'm still kind of upset about the nerve trade. That. Interesting how just we had this one leg just rugged slightly. Higher volume, but it's recovered. I don't know how much I trust this. Feels sketchy. I got at 53 at the very last second. I was trying to get in right before 52 broke. Looking to sell a little bit just over 160. Okay, I'm out half. Gonna see if we get a little bit of a leg up. It's struggling. I cut the other half. We had this other resistance right here. It's an okay trade. If this does break, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 180, but Looks a little bit off. I don't currently trade. How did you first get into it? I.e. reading, observing, etc. I was mostly just looking into ways to make money. And back in like 2020 was when I really started looking into it. I was investing in as early as like 2017, 2018. But I didn't really start day trading until like 2020, 2021, the GameStop, AMC squeeze era. And I didn't really start really honing in on day trading until like a year or two ago. It was mostly just casual losing money. I mean, the last 2 years I've been profitable, but like, I've had some days where, because, you know, I trade alone. I've just like, there's days where if you lose mental control, you can see I'm trading in a cash account for this challenge thing, but just in general, I've tried to shift away from margin because when you're trading alone, margin can be incredibly dangerous. Just having access to 4x leverage, if you lose mental control, that can be disastrous. Okay, let me log this trade though. Yeah, that T-non breakdown was good. Oh, that's right too. Like I clicked the buy button in like probably 1/10 of a second sooner, and I would have gotten 152. Just fractions of a second off from getting a slightly better fill. I'll give it 3, 1. Honestly, in hindsight, I made a great decision selling there. So I sold half right as it broke 160, taking a little bit off the table. And I wanted to see it move to like 170, 175. But when I was seeing it hesitate here for maybe like 30 seconds, I'm like, okay, this was a resistance. When we saw it do this last time, we saw the flush. Yeah, so it looks like I made a great decision getting out. I could have got like 2 extra cents. And this thing's like giving it back too now. I might get in here. Yeah, I'm gonna get in half size. If we see it go a bit lower, I might get in more. Although the volume is higher on this, maybe half size is the limit of what I should take for this trade. I'm just looking like 148 to get out. Yeah, probably 148. Volume is somewhat high, but it wasn't crazy high. This is a little concerning, though, being this high here. This could be a reversal point, or could be increased selling. Yeah, this higher volume candle, I don't add this. This is either just a cut or wait. The one thing keeping me in here is this volume is still relatively the same as this volume, which tells me there wasn't, this selling pressure feels like an overreaction. That's the main reason I haven't gotten out. This candle was a little concerning because the volume was a bit higher, but this was a bit of a big push. Yeah, I definitely don't add here, though. This is bearish territory, so in the event this is raw selling pressure, I shouldn't add. Considering I didn't time the bottom either, a breakout or a break even might not be a terrible decision here. Maybe I'll go for like a little bit of greed. Do 146. I can't, I don't think I can go for like 150 though. That might be too aggressive. It's struggling. I'm just cutting it. It's break-even trade. So I was anticipating a bounce. I didn't quite time the bottom. I decided not to average in because the volume was starting to pick up. There was a chance this was getting rugged. I'll log this, then I'll check out what you're showing me. Sucks for the commissions, but it is what it is. Commissions are killing me today. Okay. It did end up resolving, unfortunate, but it was struggling too much. I was getting worried. Okay. Wow. Okay, so what's the float on this? SPWR. Oh, but there's 174 million. Yeah, the 1 million volume isn't as impressive now. Yeah, that volume's way too high, unfortunately. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not. I'm when the outstanding shares are this high, it's just really hard to know if it's going to make the move or not. I mean, like, they announce record profits, so I get why it's moving. It just doesn't really feel safe. Or rather, not safe, but just it's hard to read it, right? There's too much going on. It's worth noting this candle was the highest volume, and it was, you know, sell off. Nervous? Are you kidding me? Nervous still holding up. Yes. I mean, it feels really bullish. Right? But it's also kind of range bound. Went from 190 straight back up to 7. Or not 190, 690. Straight back up to 7. T-non is continuing to roll over. It's giving back the whole move. Still watching Nerve. This is twice now. It went down and then immediately popped back up. I'm wanting to go long here. Yeah, Nerve is a good signal for tomorrow because yesterday was somewhat cold. We did get the break. Yeah, yesterday was somewhat cold, and we just haven't had any real price action. Yeah, I was wanting to get in here, but it hesitating so many times. The big signal I was looking at for this though was we had these first 2 minutes where it would go down and it was immediately popping back. So that was my main signal I was watching. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow's better. I mean, 1254 is it's a smaller account, but like what is that? It's like a what would that be? 2%? Mm. No, 1%. It's a little more than 1%. No. Dude, what am I... Am I off the plot here? Like... .2%. Okay. I thought I had a decimal place wrong. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Oh, wait. Dude, I'm actually like, shouldn't that be 2%? Right? Because 10,100. That'd be 1%. No, okay. No, it is. It is. Okay. Yeah, and then it would be 0.2 because it's 5,000, not 10,000. Okay. Can't do basic math. Maybe that's a sign that I need to be done. Aceton ended up fading. Hoth completely dead. Yeah, a lot of stocks weren't resolving well. We're seeing a lot of this. SDS, STs probably, or this one probably also failed. Yeah, this one failed. LITM, this one kind of failed. We had like, the volume didn't really come in until here. So like the first leg essentially failed, because I count that as the first leg. ID, what was it? FN? There was something ID something, but that one also failed. Nerve was the only one. Oh no, wait, there was, what was it? GSIT. I traded this one. This one, we're testing high of day. So this one could see a continuation because it's held up excellently. So GSIT's looking strong and Nerve is looking strong. So we had really two stocks that played out today, and probably like 80% of them failed. Maybe 70% of them failed. So looking at it from that, making money today, I shouldn't be upset. I tried Nerve twice and I just couldn't hit it, right? This consolidation, after this kind of move, this is very unique price action. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream here in a few minutes. If anyone has any questions or anything they want to ask or whatnot, you can feel free to do that. But yeah, around 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I'm gonna go ahead and head out here. I'll probably make the recap later today. Hey, at least I can start the challenge with a green day, right? I withdrawed more than I was supposed to, so I have actually a little less than 5,000, but it's fine. I mean, actually, what is it really? So, did I actually make 0.3%? Right. So we'll do 12. 55. No. So 0.25% return. Heck yeah. What a strong result. I mean, hopefully we just get some more momentum. I'm hoping this carries through tomorrow. I was not expecting this at all. Very strange how it's holding up like this and just consolidating. Yeah, it's even just on the gap scanner, right? The second biggest move is this, up 50%. It's really just this one and GSIT. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. There's nothing I'm really like watching for right now. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Like I said, I'll be doing this every morning. Today was a bit slower. It's been slow, if we're being honest, for like the last week and a half, really. Just kind of waiting to see when that next hot market cycle comes in. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow.